Hi everyone, this is Em from Stitchy Crochet, here with a tutorial on how to make the Lacy Shell Tunisian crochet stitch. This is a beautiful beginner-friendly stitch that has great drape and stretch when it's worked up with a looser tension. I think it's a great stitch for summer wearables, and I feature it in my Maris top design. So let's get started on how to work this up. So if you're unfamiliar with Tunisian crochet, I'll make a separate video on some of the differences there, but you do need a longer Tunisian crochet hook if you're going to make a larger piece. So I'm using just a DK cotton yarn for this video, and for my Maris top, just using Paint Box DK. And to get started with this stitch, I will make a slip knot onto my hook, and I will chain 17 for my examples, but you can do any multiple of 5 plus 2. So I'll work those up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Great, so I've made 17 foundation chains here. So you'll turn the chain so you can see these back bumps. See a little bit easier. So these back, there they are. There are these back bumps here. So those are what we're going to be working into. So with your chain turned so those back bumps are visible, you will skip this first one right up by the hook and then work into this second back bump here. So right in there. You'll insert your hook, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So that just stays and hangs out on your hook. You'll go into the next back bump of the next chain, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. And those will all just continue to hang out there on your hook as you pull up a loop in every back bump of each foundation chain. All right, so I've pulled a loop up from every chain, and now is a good time to check that you have the right amount of loops on your hook. If you pulled up a loop in each chain, you should have the same amount of loops on your hook as starting chain. So I have 17 loops on my hook here, and I started with a foundation chain of 17. So to start the first return pass, you'll first yarn over and pull through the first loop. That is done at the start of every return pass. It kind of acts as the like a turning chain from normal crochet. So you'll now, for the Lacy Shell stitch, it begins with chain 2 at the start of the return pass. So that first one does not count because that was just the beginning of the row. So I will still chain 2 by pulling through 2 loops. And I'll now yarn over and pull through the next 6 loops on my hook. So notice that this first one does count as one of those 6. So I'll be through this one and then the next 5. So I'll yarn over, then pull through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those loops. And you can see that's kind of how the shell cluster begins to form. And so now we will chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once again, yarn over and pull through the next 6 loops. Reminder that this does count as one of those 6. So yarn over through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is your little repeat. So you could chain 4 and then yarn over and pull through 6 loops until you get to the end. So I'm going to chain 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over and pull through the next 6 loops. 5, 6. So if you had a longer foundation chain, you would repeat that a few more times, but for this smaller swatch, I'm already at the end. So once you've gotten to your last shell, you'll just have these 2 loops on your hook. And just like at the start of the row, you will end with a chain 2. So I'll chain 1, chain 2, and then yarn over and pull through both of those loops. For the next forward pass, you'll always skip this first vertical bar. So you do not want to work into that, but we'll instead pull up a loop in each chain and in the center of each shell. So I have 2 chains here, and so I'll insert my hook into the first chain, yarn over, and pull up a loop. And all the loops will hang out on our hook again, so just leave that there, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop. So that's 2. So now I'll be working into the center of this cluster. So just right into the center, yarn over and pull up a loop. And so now just continue pulling up a loop in each chain. So you'll have 4 loops pulled up between each shell and then a loop pulled up in the center of each one. So we'll pull up 1, 2, 3, 4 loops there, and then work into the center of this shell. And repeat for the chains. I'll pull up 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the center of the shell. At this end, now we'll just pull up loops in these 2 turning chains. So 1, 2, and then to finish every forward pass, the last stitch is worked a little bit differently in Tunisian crochet. So you'll make sure that you'll go through both bars on this side chain. So if you turn your work a little bit towards you, you'll see this ending chain here has 1 bar here, but then if you look a little bit behind, there's that second bar there. If you can see, my needle is under 2 bars, so that's where you'll want to insert your hook. So you'll go through both the front and back bar there, yarn over and pull up a loop. Perfect. There you go. And now we'll begin the next return pass. So just like before, yarn over and pull through the first loop. That's kind of like that turning chain. And now we will chain 2, yarn over and pull through 6 loops. Reminder that this one counts as one of those 6. Yarn over 1, 2, 3, 4, slide those up, 5, 6. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of slide the stitches forward and back as you need, as you kind of work. We'll chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over and pull through 6 loops. 6, chain 4, yarn over and pull through 6. And now that I'm back at the end of the row, I will chain 2. And then yarn over and pull through both loops on my hook. And there you go. And that is the pattern you'll repeat. So for the next forward pass, reminder, you would skip this first vertical bar, pull up a loop from each of these 2 chains, the center of each cluster, and then in each 4 chain, center, each of the 4 chains, the center, 2, and then work that last stitch through both back bars. And that is the Lacy Shell Tunisian crochet stitch. It can be worked up, like I said, in larger multiples, and just a really beautiful pattern. Thank you for watching.